concept is a root concept. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I am with you face to face because I want to tell you that the concept that we are going to learn today is very much important, and actual how the sentences frame. Simple sentences, we know that we frame the sentences, simple sentences, just adding some part of speech. But when we want to make the sentence longer, when we want to change the structure of the sentence, so that time we need to have these concepts that we are going to learn today as phrases and clauses. Last period we had learned what is mean by phrase. Can anyone tell me one more time what is mean by phrase? What is a phrase?
Phrase is a part of sentence. It doesn't
Yes.
give full sense.
Okay. Again.
Phrase doesn't has its own subject.
Okay. Its own verb also.
Sir, the
Okay.
phrase does not have its own verb.
Very good. Phrase does not have its own verb. Means the phrase is just a part of a sentence. It cannot stand alone as a sentence. These things we had learned. And we had discussed in the last lesson that clause. What is the difference between phrase and clause? We had learned that phrase and clause. Phrase is a part of sentence and it does not have any verb. It can be a part of a predicate of a sentence. But clause is different. Clause is a piece of sentence with a subject and a verb. Means whenever we find a clause in a sentence, we will find a verb with attached with that clause. So that difference we have learned between phrases and clauses. One more time, I will give you an example, and in that example, you can see here clause, phrase. Is this visible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir, it is
Phrase
visible.
means
Yes, sir.
a group of words
Sir, we can't see the sentence.
which
No, sir.
gives.
I can see.
This is just okay. Listen, everyone. This is just a problem of internet. Internet accessment. It may take time to make these things clear to you. Okay, just keep patience and try to focus. Whatever I am
Sir,
writing.
on laptop we can't zoom it.
If this is not, if this is blur, this may be the problem of this one. Okay. So just to be focused, and when I am writing simultaneously, I am reading the sentence, so you can get it. Whatever I am writing. A group of word which gives a sense but not
Full
complete
sense.
sense. That is known as phrase. Now clause. What is mean by clause? Clause is a piece of sentence, right? Which sometimes which can give complete meaning, either a full meaning or sometimes in incomplete meaning. When it gives a full meaning, that time it is complete with the meaning, that time that is principal clause or main clause. And when we find the piece of sentence with incomplete meaning having verb in that, that time that is subordinate clause or dependent clause. So we will learn here clause. Clause is a piece of a sentence. It is just a piece of sentence. The piece of sentence may be either incomplete or complete meaning. So that piece of sentence is known as clause. But the major difference between phrase and clause is phrase does not have its own verb. It is depend on the verb of the sentence given. But clause having its own verb, we will see the examples both of this now. Now you understood. I have given you the definitions of both the phrase and clause. Now we'll see the example. Phrase and clause. As I see, I have a chain made of gold. So if you divide the sentence or take out the part of speech from the sentence, you will know that I is pronoun, right? It is first person singular pronoun. I. Have is verb. This is verb, shows possession. Then a chain is a noun, we can say that. A chain made of gold. It is giving more information. If we means avoid this part
It
also
is
from
a
the
phrase.
sentence, we can give as meaning. So I have a chain made of gold in the sentence is a phrase. But do we find any verb in the made of gold? No. It is combination of words. It attached with the sentence to just provide or give the meaning of related sentence, but cannot stand alone as a sentence. When we change the sentence into clause, the sentence would be I have a chain which is made of gold. Now see the sentence, same sentence you can see here. I have a chain which is made of gold. So when we find the difference between these two sentences, which is the visible difference do you notice in both of the sentences? Which is the visible difference? What do you see?
Which
Yes, very good.
which is
Here you will find
made
a
of gold.
conjunction. This is a subordinating conjunction, right? Here is the conjunction, but in the phrase sentence, we do not find any conjunction. Here is in the clause sentence, there is a conjunction. Again, one more difference you can see.
Is.
Yes,
Is.
very good. In the next sentence, you will find one more verb, that is. But in the above sentence, there is only one verb, that is have. But the sentence that I have written here, I have a chain. Here, have is also verb, and is also verb. So this piece having its own verb, that is have, and next piece also having its own verb, and that is. So dear student, clause is a piece of sentence with subject and verb. Understood? And phrase is a piece of sentence which does not have its own verb. This is the visible and great difference you can notice here. Now we will move towards the clauses. You understood now what is the phrase and what is the clause. Even exercise also we had discussed based on this. Now we have concepts. We want to learn the concepts related to clauses. Hello.
Yes,
Hello
sir.
everyone. Tell me what is mean by clause. Just I told you. Can anyone try what is mean by
Clause
clause?
has its
A
own
group of words
verb
that
and
have subject
subject.
and a verb.
Clause is a
Yes,
one
raise
piece of
your hand.
sentence.
Raise
Group
your
of
hand. Raise
words
your
Clause
hand.
has its own.
If you wish to
Sir,
share, raise your hand.
I don't have option of
Okay,
raising
Aryan
hand.
Gupta. Yes, listen carefully. He had raised his hand, so the chance would be given to him. Come on, Aryan.
A group of
Sir, I
words
don't
that
have.
has subject and a
Listen.
verb. It expresses a complete thought and may or not stand alone as a sentence.
Okay, again.
Sir, can I?
Sir, can I?
So may I?
Sir, can I?
Sir, can I? Sir, can I?
Anushka, she also had
Can I?
raised her hand.
Sir, I
Yes,
don't
sir.
have option of raising
Clause,
hand, so I cannot.
clause is a sentence in which it has its own verb and subject.
Yes, clause is a piece of sentence. In the smallest definition of clause, you can, if somebody asks you what is meant by clause, the answer would be given in simplest form that clause is nothing, just it is a piece of sentence. It is a piece of sentence with either a complete or incomplete meaning, right? So we will try to understand simple definition of clause. It is a piece of sentence. Piece का मतलब होता है टुकड़ा. Piece of a sentence, right? Simple definition. But the piece of sentence with verb, उसमें क्या होना चाहिए? Verb. खुद का उसका verb होना चाहिए. And subject also and verb. We will find the subject and verb. That time that piece is known as verb. Sorry, phrase. Sorry, clause. So we will have some example now. I saw a boy who was crying. This is a sentence, complete sentence.
Who
This
was
is
crying
visible,
is clause.
everyone? Okay. So this is the complete sentence, but we will find there are two verbs in the sentence, and we will find two pieces of the sentences. If we
Who
cut the
and was.
sentence, yes. Here are two verbs. This is the first verb, and was is
Was.
also verb. So this part, I saw a boy, right, and who was crying. This is not a question who was crying. उसका मतलब यहाँ पे कौन ऐसा नहीं है, कौन ऐसा नहीं, कौन कौन, तो ये है who means जो कि. I saw a boy, मैंने एक boy देखा, who was crying, जो कि रो रहा था. So in the sentence I saw a boy is a main clause. Why it is main clause? Because it can stand alone as a sentence. It is with complete meaning. उसका पूरा meaning है I saw a boy. But this piece who was crying, जो कि रो रहा था, right? जो कि रो रहा था, उसका अगर इसको काट दिया जाएगा यहाँ से, तो that cannot give complete sense. Am I right? जो कि रो रहा था, तो पूरा सेंस उससे नहीं मिलता है. So this is the dependent piece. ये क्या है? Dependent है. This piece is completely blank on the first one. That's why this is dependent, means dependent clause. And listen everyone, every subordinate clause starts with a subordinating conjunction. So यहाँ पे जो है ये subordinating conjunction. So every subordinate clause starts with a subordinating conjunction. Sometimes question can be asked that circle the conjunction, circle the subordinator, or circle the subordinating conjunction. So you must know I saw a boy is a main clause, a piece of sentence with complete meaning, right? That is known as main clause. And a piece of sentence with incomplete meaning, which is depend on the first one or next one, or which some part of the sentence, that piece is known as subordinate clause. Every subordinate clause starts with subordinator. Understood? Understood everyone? Now I will give you one more example. See, am I audible everyone? Can you hear me properly?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is this visible? Whatever I have written on the board, is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next example, the bus which goes to station is number 9. The bus which goes to station is number 9. So find the subordinator. Which one is the subordinating conjunction in the sentence?
Is.
Which one is the subordinating conjunction?
Is.
Subordinating conjunction, I said.
Which?
Yes, very good. Which is the subordinating conjunction? And which part of the sentence having complete meaning?
The goes to station.
The bus goes to station.
Yes. The bus is number 9. Listen carefully. The bus is number 9. Is the verb. The bus is number 9. Which goes to station, जो कि स्टेशन को जाती है, that next verb is here, one more verb, right? So there are two verbs, this piece having this. अभी हमें दिख रहा है कि दोनों टुकड़े अलग अलग है, but main clause जो है ये main clause है. The bus is number 9 is the main clause, and which से लेकर कॉमा तक यहाँ पे पूरा ये subordinating clause है. Which goes to station is the subordinate clause. So dear student, you might be thinking that subordinate clause always come behind the sentence, okay, or after the main clause. You will maybe thinking, but remove that preconception that always sometimes it can be subordinate clause be between the sentence like this. Sometimes the subordinate clause be in front of the sentence and main clause be the back side. As see, if you work hard, you will pass the test.
Sir,
See the sentence. If you work hard, you will pass the sentence. You will pass the test. If you work hard. Come on, try to find two verbs in the sentence given.
Work.
Work and
Work and
pass. Pass.
yes, you will pass, or this one is also verb. Here are the two verbs. So which one part of the these two pieces, which one is the complete meaning and which one having incomplete meaning?
You will pass the test.
you will pass the test.
Yes, you will pass the test. This is the piece with complete meaning, right? And the first, if you work hard, अगर तुमने कड़ी मेहनत की तो क्या होगा? अगर इसका अकेले का कुछ मीनिंग है क्या? No. Until and unless the next piece is attached with the first one will not deliver any complete sense. That's why this is dependent piece, and this is dependent clause, subordinate clause, and this is main clause. So understood everyone, main clause and subordinate clause?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
subordinate
Yes,
clause,
sir.
how we
Yes,
can
sir.
identify subordinate clause? How we can identify subordinate clause?
It is
Sir, by
dependent on
conjunction.
main clause.
Yes, it is dependent on main
And
clause.
it
Very good.
starts with subordinating
Very good.
conjunction.
Always, subordinate clause always starts with a subordinator. Now I will write a sentence and I will ask you which one is the main clause and which one is the subordinate clause. We'll see how much you understood. Okay, ready? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know what he said. Simple. I know what he said.
I know is subordinate.
See,
Clause
raise your
and
hand. Raise your hand.
What?
sir, I don't have option of raising hand, so I cannot.
Okay. So update your Google Meet. Then you will get the option.
Okay, sir.
Come on, everyone.
Sir, can I? Sir, can I?
Just raise your hand. I said raise your hand. Mayank Tiwari. Mayank, come on. Tell me which one is the main clause and which one is the subordinate clause. I know what he said.
Sir, what is question that?
Huh?
What is question?
Just
It is
tell
half
me
only
which one is the main clause and subordinate clause. Or you just try to find verbs in the sentences given.
Sir said.
Yes. Said is the verb. Very good. Again,
No, sir.
no also verb. So I know, right? This
I know is main.
This is main clause. And what is it? जो उसने कहा, right?
Subordinate clause.
This is subordinate clause. Right? Understood? Now one more sentence. the boy standing near the gate the boy who is the boy who stood near the gate is my brother. Come on, the boy who stood near the gate is my brother. Here is the comma.
Sir, stood is verb.
Yes.
Stood and
Near.
near.
Here is not the verb. Here is the verb, right?
Stood and is the boy.
See,
The boy
the
who
boy
stood
is
near
my brother.
The gate is
The boy is my brother.
me.
This is
Main
which
clause.
clause?
Main clause.
Very good. This is main clause.
who stood near the gate.
And who stood near the gate is
Subordinating clause.
Subordinate
subordinating
clause.
clause. Okay, okay, very good, very good. It means that you understood main clause and subordinate clause. How to identify main clause and subordinate clause. So just remember some things which are very important to learn. That always subordinate clause starts with subordinator. Now we have some kinds of clauses, right? Main clause and subordinate clause, these are the two kinds of the clauses. And again, main clause does not have any subkind. Main clause is always only one kind, that is main clause. But subordinate clause is classified in several kinds. There are three kinds of the subordinate clause: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Right? So subordinate clause having three kinds. Remember, listen everybody. Attend the class lively and properly. Don't attend the class by lying or sleeping.
Sorry, your
Right?
voice is not coming. It's breaking.
So subordinate clause having three kinds: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause, these are the three subkinds of subordinate clause. Again, noun clause will not having any have any kind. uh, Now adjective clause also do not have any kind, but adverb clause having nine kinds: time, place, reason, condition, contrast, purpose, result, comparison. Like this, having nine kinds of the adverb clause. Adverb clause of time, adverb clause of reason, adverb clause of condition, adverb clause of contrast. Like nine kinds of the adverb clause having. So we will not go in that much deep. Just we will try to understand here the kinds of clauses, basically main clause and subordinate clause. And you understood how to find out the main clause and subordinate clause. When if you watch entire the whatever the sentence I have given, I hope so you understood this concept. So based on this, we will have an exercise one more time. I will show you the exercise and we'll try to identify which one is the main clause and subordinate clause. So everybody understood?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
now
Yes, sir.
I will share my screen and I will tell you to identify. So go in the chat box and tell me which one is the main clause, subordinating conjunction, or whether the sentence is made up of phrase or clause. Right? So I'll share my screen. Everyone listen carefully. Is this visible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
See, let's exercise. Focus here. Let's exercise. Identify and circle the conjunctions and underline the dependent clause. Right? Circle the conjunction and underline the dependent clause. Come on,
Sir,
first
that
sentence.
that
Please,
So
please, I will
if
not accept the oral
conjunction.
answer. Oral answer will not be accepted. Only go in the chat box and suggest your answer. He woke up early so that he could reach office on time. We already have learned the lesson conjunctions. You know which are the conjunctions. And the piece complete meaning is known as main clause, and incomplete meaning depend on the main clause to complete the meaning is known as subordinate clause. So we want to find out subordinate or dependent clause. He woke up early so that he could reach office on time. Yes, very good. So he woke up early is the main clause, and so that he could reach office on time is the subordinate clause or dependent clause. And here the conjunction is so that. Right? Very good, very good. Now next, after he left the company, he went on a world tour. After he left the company, he went on a world tour. Come on, everyone, come on quickly. I'm still here to monitor your answers. Come on. In the next sentence, after he left the company is the subordinate clause, and after is the subordinating conjunction. And he went on a world tour is the main clause. Very good. Next sentence C. She returned the movie Dusk, which was very interesting. Very good. Which is the conjunction? The word which here in the sentence is the conjunction. And main clause, she rented the movie is the main clause. She rented the movie Dusk is the main clause, and which was very interesting is the subordinate clause. Very good. Sentence D. Yes, that in the D sentence, that the word that is the conjunction. Ashutosh knows that his friends donates to a charity. So here in the sentence, Ashutosh knows is the main clause, and that his friends donates to a charity is the subordinate clause. Very good. Last sentence.
Although.
Very good. Although is the conjunction. Although they had enough winter wear is the subordinate clause, and they did not venture out of the hotel room is the main clause. Very good. So everybody understood main clause and subordinate clause. Here we have completed the lesson, phrases and clauses. I hope so you understood. Still you find any difficulty anywhere, you can ask your doubts, your queries anytime. I am always with you. Okay. Very good. Shravan, your answers are correct. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you can leave the meet.
Yes, sir.
And
Okay,
if
sir.
you
Bye,
have
sir.
any
Have a
problem,
nice day, sir.
Bye, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye. Nice
bye
day,
bye.
sir.
Bye. See you all.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Have a nice day.
Bye bye.